Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, Jay-Z Courtside, coming at you today on Thursday, March 5th. Oh, it's my cousin's birthday. I got to text him. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope everybody's having a phenomenal start to their Thirsty Thursday. I'm very happy to see y'all. As you can see, I got oodles of energy for y'all today. It's the last stream of the week, so I can't leave y'all sad. I got to give y'all the best version of me possible. So the best version of me possible, thank God the Pistons didn't play last night, because then, you might have had a little bit of skewed feelings from me today, is all I can say. I hope everybody's doing absolutely phenomenal. Remember, guys, this is the last episode of the week. I am driving up to Detroit tomorrow morning, okay? And whether or not there's an episode Monday, join the Discord and you'll be the first one to know, okay? So there's guaranteed no stream, no episode tomorrow, which is Friday, March 6th, and possibly an episode on Monday and all throughout the next week. I got mics. I'm bringing my laptop. We're going to have a great week of episodes. So just be there or be a loser, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I prepared y'all a good-ass episode today. We're going to break down a couple important games that happened from last night, and we're also going to play a little segment that we like to call True or False around here. True or False. We had a fun night of NBA basketball last night. Fun night. 0 seconds of hate watching. That's a lie. How many seconds was on the final clock for the New York Knicks? Listen, we'll talk about it. We will talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm joking. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. TikTok chat, YouTube chat. Be sure to drop a like, follow, kisses, all that jazz. And Twitch chat. All you guys got to do, it's the easiest job in the world, man. All you guys got to do is sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, an energy drink, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I know the thumbnail, I know the title's about the Hornets, but we're actually going to start today's show with a headline game on ESPN, and that is the New York Knicks falling to the Oklahoma City Thunder in New York. And the very first comment I see in the TikTok is somebody saying, legit was robbed by the effing refs. We should have won that effing game. Now, I would like to come out and say, Knicks fans, you guys lost this game fair and square. Did Shea have 2 free throws that he shouldn't have that night? Yeah, sure. Take those 2 free throws away. You guys still lose by 1. That's not the reason Knicks fans lost, okay? I would like to give credit to where credit is due to both teams, okay? Yes, Shea got a couple free throws that he didn't deserve. He does every night. This is not new. Shea got a couple free throws that he shouldn't have gotten. But Knicks fans, you guys are worried about the wrong points. What you guys should be complaining about is the fact that Brunson, had he had a normal Brunson game, you guys win that. So there's no need to blame the refs and cope by that. The refs gave Shea a couple calls. I'm admitting that. I'm not a Thunder fan. I had no dog in this fight. But what I'm telling you right now is simple. 5 for 18 from your superstar is not going to cut it. And shit, I'm not even done yet. Mikal Bridges, 6 for 17. Bad. OG Anunoby, 6 for 17. Bad. Karl Anthony Towns, I'll get to you in a moment. Josh Hart, 4 for 11. Bad. Landry Shamet, you did your thing, my boy. You are a Piston next year. 5 for 9. Mohamed Diarrhea, 3 for 4. I don't know why he only played 13 minutes. Don't know. Mike Brown, why did he only play 13 minutes? He was great in all his minutes. He was great. Jose Alvarado, you were not good last night. 1 for 4. Huck Porter, you were horrible. 3 turnovers in 9 minutes. And Sohan had a solid 90 seconds in the game. And honestly, he had one good play. He forced a jump ball. So Knicks fans, please, let's just be so serious here. You guys had a bad game. So it's encouraging because you almost won. Your superstar was bad. Your 2 other role guys were bad. And your second guy, let's talk about Karl Anthony Towns. I've never seen Karl Anthony Towns be so aggressive, yet so soft. Knicks fans, I'm serious here. He had 17 points and 17 rebounds, 9 of them offensive. He was doing his best Mitchell Robinson impression. But can we be so honest? That minus 18, it's not exactly a lie. because Cat, this is why he shot 7 for 8 last night. But this is why I don't put too much stock into these numbers. And Knicks fans, I hope you guys agree with me. He was great on the glass, especially on the offensive end. It led to a lot of easy buckets and wide open threes. But honestly, Cat was a zero impact for me. Zero impact. As far as offensively and defensively, they were targeting him every single play. Chet Holmgren had his best game of the season. And it was against Karl Anthony Towns. Okay? Now, Knicks fans, I would like to say, because we're about to talk about the Thunder, you guys had a bad game last night. Brunson had a horrible game, 5 for 18. Mikal Bridges had a bad game. OG attempted 13 threes. He had a bad game. But that's not really the point here. Because what Knicks fans are saying is, oh, the refs were giving Oklahoma everything. This is BS. The refs lost us this game. I'll be honest here, man. Did the Thunder deserve 2 more free throws than you guys last night? Yeah. Yeah, they did. Because that's all the difference was. The Oklahoma City Thunder had 25 free throws. The Knicks had 22. Did they deserve more free throws than the Knicks? Yes, they did. They absolutely did. They grabbed Shea multiple times. They grabbed, who was it? It was Cason Wallace, I believe. No, it wasn't Cason Wallace. It was Lou Dort. They grabbed him multiple times throughout the game. And here, Knicks fans, I'm about to impart some very courteous advice to y'all. You guys are probably thinking now that you woke up the next morning and you're saying, you know what? We almost won that game and Brunson had a horrible game and the refs helped them win. I hate to let you guys know this. Knicks fans, this was the worst Thunder game all season. Statistically, on every aspect, this was the worst Thunder game all season offensively. The worst. I looked up and down their entire schedule. Percentage-wise, shots to free throw wise, this was their worst game of the entire season. Now, could that be because of their elite defense? It could be on a couple drives, probably not. I think most of it was just missing wide open shots. I think they were just missing wide open shots. The Thunder were. You guys watched that second half. They were horrible in that second half, and yet they still walked away with a win. Their defense had absolutely nothing to do with it. I'm being told to stop glazing OKC. I'm talking about the winner. I'm not glazing OKC because here we go. OKC had a horrible game, yet they won. And I'm being told our shooting was terrible. You guys hit 10 threes, shot 28%. That's what, 5% less than what you guys normally shoot throughout the season? The Thunder allowed you guys to claw back into this game. I'm being told that the Knicks play defense. Wow, okay, sure. Play defense without fouling. Let's go through the Oklahoma City Thunder, and you will see what I mean, okay? Chet is the only one that had a good game, 11 for 19. Shea, he had a decent game. He had a normal game. This is an average game for Shea, 9 for 16, 26 points. Chet led the way with 28 points. And then look at everybody else. Cason Wallace was a nothing burger on offense. I'm being told Bruh is a stat watcher on TikTok, as if I don't sit through every single one of these games and watch them every night. What do you want me to do? You want me to put the gameplay on the screen so that I can get copyrighted? No, thank you. No, thank you. Isaiah Joe, horrible game, 0 for 5. Aaron Wiggins, 2 for 4. You did okay. Jalen Williams, 2 for 6. I guess he only turns up against the Pistons. Horrible game. Jared McCain, horrible game. They were glazing him for so long last night. Mike Breen and Tim Legler, they were glazing him so much last night. So much. And yet he had his worst game of the season, unfortunately, for Jared McCain, 1 for 5. And that was it. The Thunder had a horrible game. They had a horrible game. And yet the Knicks also had a horrible game. So what I'm being told here is that if the Thunder had a horrible game and the Thunder are missing their second best player and their fourth best player, then what does this mean for the Knicks? Well, here's what I'll say. The Knicks clawed their way back. The Knicks clawed their way back. They did. And I applaud them for that. I was rooting for a good basketball game, and oh boy, we got one. And it was awesome. It was so much fun. I really enjoyed watching this game. What I don't enjoy is seeing, well, Brunson looked like my sweet baby Cade Cunningham this game from the night before. They had damn near identical stat lines. Cade went 5 for 16 2 nights ago, and he went 5 for 18. Caruso also got hurt. Yeah, so let's go through this. They're missing J-Dub, who's their second best player, the same guy that scored 40 points in the finals last night. Okay? Not just that. They're missing AJ Mitchell, who's been their their best surprise story this season. Not just that. They lost Isaiah Hartenstein in this game. Not just that. They lost Alex Caruso in the same game. So they're not only missing their second best player, but they're also missing 3 other guys in their rotation. And the guys that actually played still didn't have a good game. TikTok, here's something you guys have to learn. Talking about facts is not glaze, okay? Talking about the actual facts that happened last night is not glaze. It's analysis. The Knicks did not lose because the Thunder got 3 more free throws than them. The Knicks lost because they had a bad game and the Thunder just so happened to have a teeny tiny bit better of play. So my point being, was it a fun game? Yeah, it was absolutely entertaining. It was a lot of fun. But anybody who watched this game, the Thunder had a horrible shooting night in the second half. And the Knicks were not good all night. Well, they were good. They had a really good third quarter, I think. They won that third quarter, right? Yeah, they dropped 40 in the third quarter. That was unbelievable. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has never lost to Madison Square Garden, and that is somewhat concerning. It is. I don't think... listen, people are coming at OG Anunoby for shooting 13 threes. If your star player is not taking the shots, then who's going to take the shots? Somebody's got to take them. Jalen Brunson is like one of those players who won't empty the clip if they're having a bad night. And not too many players are like that. Anthony Edwards will empty the clip. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will empty the clip, even though they don't have to. Something that stands out the most with this game is that Jalen Brunson had 15 assists, and I want to give him credit where credit is due. If you guys noticed, in the third quarter, the reason why they scored 40 points in that third quarter is because of Jalen Brunson. So I need to give him... People are not going to be talking about that. Because even in the Pistons loss 2 nights ago, Cade Cunningham had 14 or 15 assists as well, and he shot 5 for 16. And in this game, that's the only reason the Pistons were in that game in the first place. That and Asar's defense. Jalen Brunson had 15 assists, and most of them came in the third quarter to Landry Shamet, who I think had 13 points in the third quarter. So I have to give credit where credit is due. Brunson, he was facilitating this, which is something that Brunson doesn't do. Yeah, apparently he had 9 of them in the first half. So I'm glad that he actually was setting up his guys, because that's something that Brunson gets criticized a lot for. It's just the ball ends with him. You know what I mean? It was a very entertaining game last night, but seeing Jalen Brunson in jail from Case and Wallace was definitely a bad sight. It was a bad sight. I didn't think Case and Wallace was going to be that prolific on Jalen Brunson. Yeah, I think that's the perfect kryptonite. He's faster than Brunson. He's strong. He's not stronger than Brunson, but he gets him. He's way more quick when it comes to lateral movement. So if Brunson's trying to beat him off the dribble, he can slide over and just stop him on his path. It's crazy. Something that, again, I'm going to be preaching until I start seeing it is Diawara. I think I have to stop calling him diarrhea, because I love him as a player. And I don't want to be labeled a hater. I love Diawara. He's going to be a special talent, I think. I can't quite label what kind of archetype he is in today's modern NBA. But man, if he doesn't scream shades of Pascal Siakam, Giannis Antetokounmpo, I don't know what does. His shot is pure. He's confident in his shot as well. That's something that Giannis and Pascal still are not confident in. Yet this guy's a rookie, confidently pulling from deep. That's a good sign. I really enjoy, I almost said it again, Diawara. I really, really enjoy watching him. And I think Knicks fans could use that pleasant surprise this season in the midst of their underachieving year. I think it's a lot of fun. I think he's going to be very crucial to this team. Whether or not they can keep him, that's another story. Now, I do want to talk about Cat one more time. He just looked like he was getting worked by Chet. It was like, I haven't seen Chet look this dominant. In my opinion, maybe all season. I haven't seen Chet look this dominant at all. And it happened on Cat. Cat couldn't stay with him. And that's been my biggest complaint with Karl Anthony Towns. People are going to tell me, just like yesterday, and I'm quoting yesterday in the TikTok, they said, Cat leads the league in double-doubles this season. He leads the league. Okay. So did Andre Drummond 10 years ago. Did the Pistons ever did they ever win a playoff game? No. Leading the league in double-doubles generally does not mean much. Andre Drummond led the league in double-doubles for like 2 years in Detroit. 1 year we made the playoffs. 1 year we got swept out the playoffs. And what are you going to tell me? That's Andre Drummond. You're comparing him to Karl Anthony Towns? What's the difference? I think Andre Drummond's a 1, maybe 2-time all. No, I think is he a 2-time all? I don't remember how many All-Stars Drummond got. I think he's a 1-time, I think. And, you know, my end-all be-all conversation when it comes to the Thunder, and I hope everybody can agree with me. I was watching the pregame show, and I believe Kendrick Perkins, who I typically don't agree with, he came out and said he wants to see more from Chet. And I was like, really? What? And I had to look at Chet's stats. He hasn't scored 20 points since the middle of January. And I was like, damn, when was the last time he scored 30 points? My point being is Chet really doesn't have to do a whole lot for this team. He's chilling for most of the time. But that's what's so terrifying about this Oklahoma City Thunder team is the fact that Chet isn't their number 2. Chet's their number 3. And yet he can chill for 95% of these games. And TikTok is saying because he's that's what TikTok is saying. Because Chet Holmgren is that's what they're saying. Overall, I think Chet, once he realizes his true potential, once he bulks up just a tiny bit, and he realizes that nobody can guard him, I mean, what can you do against this team? What can you do? I'm being told who's the number 2. J-Dub, who's out. Who's been out. You know, the guy that dropped 40 points in a finals game? J-Dub. So, I think I'm going to end this topic off with something final, right? Something that you guys could leave with, right? The Knicks did not lose because of the referees. They did not lose because of the referees. They lost because they had slightly worse of a game than the Thunder did. And that's okay. That's more than okay. They did not lose because the Thunder got 3 more free throws than them. They did not lose. The Knicks shot bad. The Thunder also shot bad. They just shot a little bit better than the Knicks. This could have easily gone the other way. Easily. So I would like to applaud my Knicks fans. I would like to applaud the Knicks team, not my Knicks team, the Knicks team, because I saw some dog in them last night. I saw some fight. The Knicks missed 8 free throws last night. That's not great. So, and they had 2 great looks at the end of the game. Jalen Brunson had a great 3. And then OG Anunoby had a great 3 as well. It's just one shot. One shot. That could have been the deciding factor. That's 8 free throws in a 3-point loss, guys. So that really does go a long way. And something I want to just say for both teams. Knicks fans, you guys should be happy. I'm seeing a little bit more out of Mike Brown. He's an adaptable coach. And that's why Mike Brown still gets jobs to this day. He's an adaptable coach. I don't think you guys can pin all the blame on him anymore. Stop scapegoating him. I wish my head coach, JB Bickerstaff, when he sees that players are having a bad night, I wish JB Bickerstaff would throw in guys just to see, can we get something out of them? And I am so jealous that Mike Brown does that and JB Bickerstaff doesn't do that. Mike Brown hasn't been perfect this season, but I don't think any head coach has been perfect this season. As of late, yeah, Charles Lee, you know what I'm saying? As of late. And Thunder fans, if I can leave you guys with something, y'all just played your worst game of the NBA season and you still won in Madison Square Garden. So, there you go. TikTok, if you guys are enjoying today's stream, you would enjoy the Twitch stream so much more. As you guys can see right there where I'm pointing, the name on Twitch is JZ Uncut. The Twitch link is in my bio. You guys would enjoy the viewing experience so much more in my Twitch stream. Come join our community. We'd love to have you over here. It's a much, much better viewing experience. Okay. Let's move on to our next game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Charlotte. The Hornets continue their hot run and leave Boston in ruins. Get it? Because the Bruins, do you guys get it? I came up with that this morning. I hope you guys enjoy that little pun. Get it? Because they left them in ruins and they have a hockey team named the... Okay. So the Charlotte Hornets came into town. They came in to Beantown and they walked all over the Celtics. They walked all over the Boston Celtics. Now, right from the jump as well. Right from the jump. I gotta say, I thought Boston was gonna fight back. And I want to talk about the third quarter in particular. The third quarter in particular, because the Celtics were doing Celtics things. Jaylen Brown got a massive dunk, and then they go on the other end and hit a three. And now they're only down 14 points. And I was like, ooh, this is where it happens. This is where the Celtics come back. I've seen this 1,000 times. They're going to come back. And then Kobe White, the late trade acquisition for the Charlotte Hornets, weathered the storm. I don't think you guys truly understand how big of a pickup Kobe White was, but I think last night was his welcome to Charlotte moment. He was a plus 17 on the court, 17 points, 6 assists, 1 rebound. He shot 6 for 9 from the field. I would like to say it's a shame that 28 other teams in the NBA didn't look at the trade deadline and offer more than what the Charlotte Hornets offered. The Pistons need a Kobe White. The Rockets need a Kobe White. The Timberwolves need a Kobe White. So many teams need a Kobe White. And yet the one team that, can I be honest with everybody, truthfully did not need Kobe White ended up with Kobe White. They had Colin Sexton. He was good. Colin Sexton was good for the Hornets. He was productive in most nights. So the one team that I believe genuinely did not need Kobe White went out and got Kobe White because the asking price was so little. That's it. Something I'd like to point out immediately with the Charlotte Hornets is, I mean, bro, what the hell is going on here, man? What's going on here? People are saying this is the best turnaround story in recent memory. And honestly, I think it's the best comeback story since just last season with the Detroit Pistons. When they rattled off 8 games in a row after Jaden Ivey went down with a career-ending injury. I think this is the best comeback since last year, and I think it's a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about the Hornets more later on in our final segment today, but I do want to talk about them a little bit more. Brandon Miller had an unbelievable post through this game. That was a thing of beauty. I think even Kalkbrenner was too much to handle for Nikola Vucevic and Luka Garza. Even him, he was just doing his thing. Pat Connaughton played last night and still got you 6 points. He didn't shoot great, but he still got you those points. Miles Bridges had a bad game, 3 for 10, 9 points. Brandon Miller had an efficient game last night, 8 for 13. And I'm very curious to see what his extension would look like. I would love my Hornets fans to let me know, because he's not a max. There's no way you can give Brandon Miller a max contract and be confident in that. I'm not giving him a max. If my team gave him a max, I would be incredibly disappointed. I think he's going to be more around the 20 to 25 a year, I think, personally. I don't think he should get a max. If you watch the Hornets, he's way too up and down. He's way too up and down. So anybody saying that he's going to get a max in the TikTok and anybody saying that he's going to be making 200, I question how much you've actually watched this team. Because if he gets anywhere near 200, the Hornets franchise is over. Because then you are locked in to LaMelo Ball's max and Brandon Miller's max, who haven't had the track record yet of staying healthy and consistent. B-Mill is very young. B-Mill is still tough. And I know you got to lock up players who want to stay in Charlotte, but I just can't imagine offering a player who's been so up and down in his entire NBA career. That's just me. And I see actually my one Hornets fan in the Twitch stream is agreeing with me. That's crazy. So thank you. And people like telling me he's going to get a max. Well, ladies and gentlemen, did you guys believe Jalen Duren deserved a max last year? Did you guys believe that he deserved a max? Because this is the same thing. This This is the same thing. Everybody was telling me that the Pistons were dumb for not offering Jalen Duren a max, and that just tells me you guys didn't watch the Pistons enough last year. It's the same thing. They're both up and down. I'm happy. I mean, obviously Duren's going to get paid, but Duren did not deserve a max last year. So we offered him 25. He said no, bet on himself, and there you go. Now Duren's going to get a max. So when you look at this team and you already have LaMelo Ball at a max and you max Brandon Miller, then you start getting a little bit more complicated here, because what makes the Hornets thrive so much is because of how deep this team is, right? Knips, who knows what he's going to fetch in a couple of years. Moose, who knows what he's going to fetch. I'm pretty confident. Is Moose a free agent? Is he a restricted free agent this summer? Hornets fans, let me know. My real question about this team is, will this translate in the playoffs? It's a very different battle, and we're going to be talking about it later on, so I don't want you guys to answer that question. Just let it marinate in your brain for a little bit longer, okay? Let it marinate. What the Charlotte Hornets are doing right now, it's just truly beautiful, man. It's truly beautiful. When LaMelo Ball's having a good game, this team's unbeatable. When he's having a bad game, they're still hard to beat. Plain and simple. I have a very, very important question for everybody at the end of this pod, but again, I am going to save it for then. Knips is one of my favorite players in the NBA. Moose is great, even though he stole Greg Monroe's nickname. I heard them saying on the broadcast, the Moose is loose, and I'm thinking, no way. That's what they used to say about Greg Monroe in Detroit. It makes me very sad hearing the Moose is loose now in regards to Moussa Diabate, but it's fine, man. It's fine. He deserves it. He's already better than Greg Monroe, to be honest. Yeah, man, it was a great game from the Hornets last night, and I think something that's just scary is a couple of those highlights from last night of LaMelo Ball just taking those step back, sidestep, 35-foot bombs on Jaylen Brown, had him spamming the triangle button trying to guard him. It just goes to show you how crazy this team is because of their defense in particular. Here's what I'm going to say about all Hornets fans and everybody who looks at the Charlotte Hornets, okay? Can we all agree? I'm very curious. Can we all agree that the Hornets offense, it's elite? We can all agree, right? Don't bring me stats. Don't bring me anything. Just answer yes or no. We can all agree that the Hornets, their offense right now, when clicking, is elite. Their offense is drive and kick over and over again. Drive and kick, drive and kick, drive and kick. If that shot's not falling, they don't care. They're still going to shoot him, okay? We can all agree to that, right? You know what's absurdity? You know what's absurd? I don't care that the Hornets offense looks elite right now. And you shouldn't either. You guys should not even talk about their offense. What you should be talking about is their defense. They are 6th rated in defensive efficiency over this last 22 games. That's what you should be afraid of. You shouldn't be afraid of their offense. They're going to shoot. They're going to spam the shots. They're going to take them even if they're not hitting them. What you should be scared is their defense. I'm telling you as a Pistons fan, the Pistons don't have a great offense in the NBA. It's top 10, but it's not great. And all I'm seeing right now is them and their volume of threes and what they jack up. That doesn't scare me. It's their defense. Their defense is terrifying. Charles Lee has done unbelievable things for the squad, and I love to see it. I'd like to give a couple shout outs to some goats that left the TikTok stream and came through to the Twitch stream. Shout out to Baluba, shout out to AA Killer, and shout out to Dean. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. I'd love to see more of you guys come through to the Twitch, and be sure to join the Discord as well when you guys come through. It's a much better viewing experience. It's a much better chat experience. It's a much better community experience by swinging on into the Twitch stream. I'd love to see more of you guys come through. What's going on, guys? Be sure to join the Discord and let us know what team you support. As far as the Celtics go, I really ain't got to say much about them. I'm not worried about the Celtics. They had a bad game. Sam Hauser 1 for 5. Neemish Queta 1 for 3, and he ended up getting hurt and exited the game. I hope he's okay. Peyton Pritchard, bad game, 0 for 5. Peyton Pritchard's been horrible since the Lakers game. It was a back-to-back as well, right? Did the Celtics play the night before? No, they didn't. Okay, my apologies. No, they did not. So they were rested. On top of that, there were 85 threes. There were 85 threes taken last night. Could you imagine the Celtics were actually hitting their shots and how many more they would have took? Could you imagine? Guys, genuinely, this team in the playoffs would be averaging about 100 threes every night. I'm not kidding. It would be ugly basketball. It would be shot chucking. It will be ugly. It will be very, very ugly because the Hornets have been averaging like 49 threes attempted every night. And we all know the Celtics. They attempted 62 threes in a game in the playoffs last year. Payton Pritchard has been very, very bad. He's been very, very bad since that Lakers game. It's sort of insane. It's sort of crazy. But yeah, man, I don't really have much to say about the Boston Celtics. Derek White, you did your thing, my boy. Jaylen Brown, bad game. Vucci baby, bad game. He was 2 for 10. Payton Pritchard, 0 for 6. Horrible game. I bet they miss Xavier Tillman right now. Straight up. No, Vucevic is not I don't know why you're calling him a bust. Are you saying like it was a bad trade? No, it's not a bad trade. It's just against young teams that are running and jumping, he doesn't perform well. This is Vucevic. We all know what Vucevic does. Let's not act like this is brand new. He's old. Against young athletic bigs, he sucks. This has been Vucevic for the last few years. This is just who he is. This has been him since he was a rookie in the NBA. Whenever he's up against young, fast, athletic teams, they're bad. This guy in the TikTok said, first thing I hear is, why would they miss Tillman? They miss Xavier Tillman. He would have played tonight. So let's keep it going, y'all. Matthew, Hoodie, thank you, gentlemen, for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you very, very much. By the way, I see a guy named Callum in the TikTok spamming. Thoughts on the Suns? 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 Suns didn't play last night, buddy. I'm not talking about them. They didn't play. Shout out them Hornets, man. Buzz, 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 buzz. Buzz, 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 buzz. Buzz, buzz. Actually, I'm not done with talking about the Charlotte. I'm not done yet. Let's gas them up a little bit more. I'm not done. The Charlotte Hornets have now won 6 games in a row. Not just that. The Charlotte Hornets are 20-2 when they have this starting lineup. 20-2. 20-1 if you exclude the game where against the Pistons where, four players got ejected. So they're technically 20-1 if you exclude that game with this starting lineup. The Charlotte Hornets have tied the all-time winning streak by 15 plus. They have won 6 games straight with games when they're winning by more than 15 points. That has tied the all-time record. And I believe the last record was the Phoenix Suns. So shout out to that guy in the TikTok that wanted Suns talk. I think it was the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns. They have beat the Celtics by 29. This is quick math, by the way. So if I get something wrong, don't hurt me. They beat the Mavericks by 27. They beat the Portland Trailblazers by, is that 16? 16. The Pacers by 24. The Chicago Bulls by 100. Fuck it. They beat the Wizards by 17. So they tied the all-time record for six games in a row, winning by at least 15 points. Who's the rookie of the year, y'all? I beg you the question. Who is the rookie of the year? Let that marinate. Let it just, what's the word? Cook in your head. Think about it. If you want my answer, I'm going with Con frickin' Knips. Book it. Cooper Flagg's going to be better long term. But this is Con's award, baby. This is Con's award. He deserves it. The Charlotte Hornets are back, man. Can somebody find me the stats when the last time the Charlotte Hornets had a winning record this far into the season? Can somebody find me that? I'm sure one of my Hornets fans already has that on deck. It was the 2021-2022 season. I told y'all they had it on deck. My Twitch chat. I told y'all. This is so exciting to see. And you know what's so funny? Hornets fans, enjoy this. Everybody in the world right now is rooting for you. just like they rooted for us last year. But don't worry, if you guys improve next year, everybody will hate you. Everybody will call your team a bunch of thugs. Everybody will call your team a fake first seed. Everybody will call you guys ass. Everybody will hate you if you guys improve again next year. So enjoy it now while you're America's sweetheart, because pretty soon, hum diddly dee. All right, guys, let's move on to our next topic. First of all, I would like to give another shout out to Perp City Gaming, Hoodie Dirt, and Matthew. Thank you guys for the follows on Twitch. I really, really appreciate you guys very, very much. I'd love to see more of you guys from the TikTok and the YouTube. Come to the Twitch stream. It's a much better viewing experience, much better community over here. I actually read all of the messages that you send in here. I'd love to see you guys come through to the Twitch stream. And when you do, be sure to type in !Discord and join the Discord. We will be discussing the Hornets again later on in today's episode. So don't go anywhere, Hornets fans. We're talking about them again. This is the perfect time to swing on into the Twitch stream, because now we're just going to go quick summary over the other games from last night. All right. So I hope to see you guys come through to the Twitch stream. All right. Here we go. I love my TikTok viewers. I just love my Twitch viewers more. Let's go on and talk about the other games from last night. And I just have to acknowledge this comment. I usually ignore the TikTok. He said the Spurs exposed the Pistons' faults. Yes. Get a player that's 7'5" on your team and you'll beat the Pistons. You got me. You got me. All right, guys, let's move on and talk very quickly. Any other takeaways from any of the other games? Philadelphia 76ers. I know you guys want me to congratulate you guys on last night's win. So congrats. You beat the Jazz. Woo! Keontae George had a fun game. He shot 10 for 24. Who cares? Let him just shoot that shit every single time. Let him just shoot that thing every single time. 30 points, 10 for 24. Tyrese Maxey had a bad game again, but who cares? It's against them. Jabari Walker was the talk of the town. He had 22 points and 10 rebounds off the bench. Beautiful. Beautiful. Quentin Grimes, can you hit a three, please? 0 for 4. Next game. We're actually going to be talking about the Bucks later on, so I don't want to talk about them in this point. But the Hawks beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Everybody in their starting lineup, including their six-man Zachary Richardson, had double-digit points, which is awesome. Onyeka Okongwu led the way, 9 for 14 shooting. Beautiful game from him. And then, yeah, obviously Giannis had a good game, but everybody else on the Bucks sucks. We'll be talking about them later. The Trailblazers, speed round, guys, speed round. We're moving with some pace. The Portland Trailblazers beat the Grizzlies. I'm sad to say that I was watching this game. I hate to admit it, but Jeremy Grant, 30 points, 11 for 19. Great game. 30 points and 9, by the way. And then Drew Holiday, 35 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds, 13 from 19 from the field, and 8 for 11 from downtown. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Also, why did nobody tell me that Scoot Henderson was back? I saw him clank after clank after clank. I did not know Scoot was back. Did not know. Didn't know. 3 for 11. Scoot never changed, my boy. The Pacers falling to the Los Angeles Clippers. Matherin with a revenge game. Matherin off the bench had 23 points. He was a team high plus 32 when he was on the court. He shot 8 for 11. I see that he still has not stopped fouling. He had 4 fouls last night off the bench. Kawhi also had 29 points, 10 for 18 shooting. Brook Lopez, old ass, 7 for 12. Yeah, man, the Clippers. Oh, and then sadly, Yannick Conan Niederhauser, he left this game due to an injury. He was holding his ACL area. I hope it's not that. He's a two-way player, I believe. I think they just signed him. I think he's from the G League. I hope Niederhauser, he's been having, for the people saying who, don't do that. He's been having a great year with the Clippers, and I hate to see somebody so young, somebody so promising in his first year that he's actually doing things. Yannick Conan Niederhauser, he's been really good for the Clippers, and I hope that's not an MCL or ACL injury. He was holding his knee and he was screaming in the game, so I hope he's okay. Fun game. From the Pacers, yeah, Pascal Siakam, you did your thing. Jarris Walker, you did your thing. Jay Huff, you did your thing. I saw your shit get swatted though in like the second quarter. Yeah, the Pacers lost. Surprise, surprise. Okay, that's all the takeaways from last night, ladies and gents. Anything else? I don't believe so. Let's move on to our final segment of today's show, ladies and gentlemen. Again, TikTok, if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. The link is in my bio. You would enjoy it so much more over here. It's a much more enjoyable experience. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The name is right there below my finger. or just click my profile picture, click the link in my bio, and swing on into the Twitch stream. Ah, that's right. I forgot about the whole Stephen A. Smith about the Pelicans. This might sound mean, Liam. I forgot about it. Yes, these podcasts are all posted on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, as well as the YouTube channel, which is Jay-Z Courtside. Yes, they are all posted there. They're posted 5 minutes after I end each stream. Okay. I'm not going to talk about Stephen A. Smith talking about the Pelicans because honestly, it was just a 10-minute segment of Stephen A. Smith protecting his ego. I don't care. I'm not giving that man the time of day. That's all First Take is nowadays. It's just Stephen A. Smith doing damage control on his sensitive ass ego. So I'm not going to talk about that. But what we are going to talk about is a true or false segment. All right, ladies and gents? True or false? I need your guys' help here, guys, especially my Twitch chat. I need your guys' help. So play along, please. Ladies and gentlemen, true or false? The Hornets can complete the upset in a first round series. Now, don't rush to answer this. Take your time because take your time. And let's think about the matchup, okay? So right now, guys, I do want to let y'all know. Magic fans, close your ears. Magic fans, close your ears. I'm giving you a couple seconds to close your ears, okay? All right, now that the Magic fans have muted up, the Hornets are only a game and a half behind the Magic. They're a game and a half behind the Magic for the 7th seed. The Hornets are only two and a half games behind the Philadelphia 76ers. They're 2.5 games away from the 6th seed, guys. So let's look at it as if the playoffs started today, okay? The Hornets are the 9th seed, meaning they'd have to win 2 games to make the play-in. I think we all know that's not going to happen. But just today, the Hornets will then be the 8th seed, meaning today, the Pistons and the Hornets will be in a first-round series. As a Pistons fan who lives in North Carolina, who watches both of these teams the most out of any teams in the NBA, the Pistons will win this series. I think the Hornets can take a game, even 2, off the Pistons. But they can't be. I think it'll be a 6-game series if they play the Pistons. I think they'll have hot shooting nights. It's just what can the Pistons do when Cade has one bad night? Because it's inevitable. It's going to happen. Actually, no, it's against the Hornets. They have nobody to guard Cade. Never mind. It'll be 4-2 max, but Cade won't have a bad game in that series. They don't have anybody for Cade. I've watched Khan. I've watched LaMelo. I've watched B. Mill. I've watched them all try on Cade, and none of them prevail. So as a Pistons fan and a Hornets fan, realistically, it'd be 4-1. If they just take and make like 20 plus free throws. They hit 19 threes. They hit 19 threes against the Pistons a couple weeks ago, and they still lost. So if they can hit 20 threes in multiple games, they can win those games. It just depends what the Pistons do on the other side of the court. So no, they won't upset the Pistons, but it'll be a fun ass series. It will be. Now, let's move. Let's go next. Okay, let's go next. I think everybody agrees with me there, right? I think almost everybody agrees with me. Let's go next. Let's say the Hornets get to the 8th seed or 7th seed, okay? 8th seed or 7th seed. And then they end up making it out of the play. And sorry, they have to be they have to be 8th or 7th. And then let's say they win their play-in game because they only have to win one, and they lock in the 7th seed. They will be playing the Boston Celtics, okay? I think we can. This is where it gets interesting. Tatum will be back. Tatum won't be Tatum. What do you guys genuinely think? Have they played a season series yet? Celtics versus Hornets. No, I don't want tickets. Celtics versus Hornets this season. I think this is the first time they played them. This is the first time they played them this year. So my question to you guys is, how much stock do you take in a regular season game? I'm very curious because Tatum will be there. Nobody on that team can guard Tate. Honestly, Moose might be able to. Moose has developed into someone very, very nice that can guard the perimeter. He's moved very, very nice. I would say Celtics in 5 or 6. I'd say Celtics in 5 or 6. But Tatum's not going to be 100%. And since Tatum's not going to be 100%, I would say 6. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so none of us have Boston losing that. So, what about the Knicks? If they make the 6th seed, what about the Knicks? Do you see them beating the Knicks? Again, no, I don't. I think Knicks in 6. Again, so I think the overall consensus is everyone is saying the Hornets are going to wreak havoc on a 1st seed and upset them. I see it on my timeline every hour of every day that they're going to upset the Pistons. They're going to upset the Celtics. They're going to upset the Knicks. But when you truly look at it, no, man, they're not. They're not. They don't have experience, okay? They rely on spamming threes all game, okay? The only thing that the reason I'm saying that they will make it a competitive 5, 6, maybe even 7-game series is because they've had elite defense over these last 22 games, ladies and gentlemen. They have the 6th ranked defense in the last 22 games. They have the number 1 offense. They have the number 1 net rating. They have all of that since January 1st. So people are telling me in the TikTok the Pacers did it. No, they did not. The Pacers took steps to get to that point. Nobody on the Hornets have playoff experience unless you count like Kobe White's. So I think that's what everybody's realizing. I think the main things that the Hornets lack is what's the word? It's not intuity. No, what's the word? Ingenuity? That's not the word. It's integrity. It's not integrity. They just lack playoff experience. They just lack it. So that's the thing. I don't think spamming threes can work in a 7-game series. I don't think that's going to work, especially with how physical the playoffs are. But I'm excited. I am excited. I don't think they can upset either of those top 3 seeds. And I think it's pretty much impossible that they'll play a 4th seed. It's not impossible, but it's unlikely. It's unlikely. So I think we can all agree, whoever the Hornets play, they will make life difficult. Because again, I do have to show this tweet to everybody. Since January 1st, the Hornets now are 20-9, or I think they're 21-9. I think they're 21-9. 21-9. They're averaging 17 3-pointers hit a night, which is number 1 in the NBA. They're averaging 39% from 3, which is number 1 in the NBA. They're averaging 83% from the free throw line, which is number 1 in the NBA. They're averaging 48.5 rebounds per game, which is number 2 in the NBA. They have a plus minus of 10.5, which is number 1 in the NBA. They have 120.5 offensive rating, which is number 1 in the NBA. And they have a 10.5 net rating, which is number 1 in the NBA, all since January 1st. Whoever they verse, they will make life difficult. They absolutely will make life difficult. But saying that they're going to upset these teams, I think you're getting a little bit too big for your britches. The playoffs are very, very different, ladies and gents. They're very, very different. Can they make it go 6, 7 games? Yeah, absolutely. I said the damn thing. But yeah, they are like that. And I want people to realize, yeah, they are like that. They are like that. They're having a better comeback story than the Pistons last year did. They are. Because I think we can all agree there's a couple things that the Pistons and Hornets share in similarity. Can we all lock in for a second? Not this year's Pistons. I'm talking 2 years ago's Pistons. I'm talking the 28-game losing streak Pistons. That's the Pistons team I'm talking about. Okay? The Pistons were not 2-26 bad. We all know that. At least Pistons fans know that. They were up by 10 at the end of every single one of those games in that 28-game losing streak, and they would lose that lead in the last 2 minutes every single time without fail. The Pistons were not 2-26 bad. They proved it last year by having their comeback story. The Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets fans have been telling us all year, wait until we're healthy. Wait until we're healthy. Wait until we're healthy. Well, Charlotte, you're healthy. And we all love what we're seeing right now, man. You're the best story of the NBA right now. I love to see it. I love to see it. Charles Lee should definitely get some Coach of the Year votes. I'm not saying he should win it, but he should definitely get some Coach of the Year votes. Shout out Charlotte, shout out the Hornets, shout out North Carolina. Y'all deserve this, man, and I hope for nothing but more success. Unless you guys are up against us in the playoffs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. But before that, TikTok, if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. Be sure to swing on into the Twitch. That's JZ Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. I also see some of you guys are in the YouTube. I appreciate it. I don't like the argument that people tell me that the Charlotte Hornets don't spam threes. They absolutely do spam threes. Every time they have 1 feet of room, they take a three. They're taking the most threes in the NBA. Taking the most three. Yeah, TikTok, YouTube. Be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. It's a much better viewing experience over here, y'all. It's JZ Uncut on Twitch, guys. The link is in the description, YouTube. The link is in my bio, TikTok. I'd like to give a special shout out to Alec. Alec, thank you so much for coming through to the Twitch stream, my boy. Much love, bro. Good to have you. Be sure to join the Discord, all right, homie? I appreciate you very, very much, Alec, for coming through to the Twitch. Much love. Guys, I need your help. True or false? Ladies and gents, true or false? The Milwaukee Bucks season is officially over. Now, before you answer, you could argue that it was over when the Milwaukee Bucks when Giannis declared that he was hurt without getting an MRI. You could argue when Giannis comes back, they can make the play-in, they can make the playoffs, they can do any of that stuff, right? With Giannis, anything is possible. Well, ladies and gents, Bobby Portis said it best. He said that 8-2 run that we had, where we won 8 games out of 10 games, was fool's gold. It was fool's gold. It convinced us that we were better than we thought we were. Now, I'd like to show you guys that schedule that convinced them that they were fool's gold, okay? They beat the Bulls. They beat the Pelicans. They beat the Pacers, 3 of the worst teams in the NBA. They lost to Orlando, and then they beat Orlando. They beat the Thunder, which I'm very curious. Who were the Thunder playing? They didn't have Shea. Okay. They didn't have Shea. They didn't have Hartenstein. They didn't have AJ Mitchell or J-Dub. Okay. Okay. And then they lost to Toronto, beat Miami, beat Cleveland. Okay. And now they've lost 4 games in a row. They have played the Knicks, the Bulls, the Celtics, and the Hawks. And what's worst is they are losing these games badly. They are losing these games badly, y'all. You don't believe me? Let me read you these scores. They lost to the Knicks by 30. They lost to the Bulls by 100. The Bulls. The Chicago Bulls in 2026, they lost by 100 against the Chicago Bulls. The Boston Celtics, they lost by 200. The Atlanta Hawks, they lost by, 28? 10, 20? Holy hell, 28. So when you look at this team, you guys are probably wondering, Jay-Z, what do you mean like their season's over? Well, here's the thing. They're not making the play-in. They're not. They are now 5 games out of the play-in. That is the same lead that the Pistons have. Sorry, they lost by 18 last night. That is the same lead that the Pistons have on the 2-seed Celtics. Let that sink in real quick. They are outside of the play-in by the same lead the Pistons have on the Boston Celtics in first place. 5 games. That is a lot. That is a lot. They don't have chemistry between the players. They don't have chemistry with the head coach, Doc Rivers. They don't have chemistry with Giannis Antetokounmpo. This guy hates them. Did you guys see Giannis throw the ball and get a tech last night? Giannis hates this team. And honestly, I'm wearing a Giannis hat from his store in Athens, Greece. And I hate that I'm wearing it. I hate that I'm wearing it because honestly, I haven't liked Giannis this year. He's been I had his jersey up behind me as well. I haven't enjoyed Giannis basketball this year, man. I haven't liked it. I haven't liked his moves. I haven't liked that he stayed with his team. And honestly, I just don't feel bad for Giannis. Giannis, go ahead and throw that ball. Go ahead and throw it. Go ahead and partner with another prediction-based company. I don't care right now. I don't care. Doc Rivers is the most overrated head coach in the NBA, arguably one of the most overrated coaches in the history of the NBA. And Giannis, I don't feel bad for you, man. Come to Detroit and maybe I'll forgive you. But I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. You said that you want to leave. You said you don't want to leave. You said you want to leave. You said you don't want to leave. You said you want to leave. You said you don't want to leave. You said I'm a Milwaukee Buck for life, but I want to leave. And now you most recently said 2 days ago that if you do leave, you want to stay in the East Coast because you're a shorter flight to Greece. Let's see the remaining schedule for the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's look at the remaining schedule to see if they can somehow climb into the play-in. They got the Jazz, ass. They got the Magic, ass. They got, sorry, mid. They got the Suns, mid, because they're injured. They got the Heat, generationally mid. They got the Hawks. Apparently, they've been exactly mid since the year 1959. The Pacers, ass. The Cavs, good. The Jazz, ass. The Suns, again, mid. The Clippers, mid. The Blazers, below mid. The Spurs, elite. The Clippers, mid. Holy fuck, this schedule is ass. Okay, they might make it. They might make it. Is the season over? Probably. But they might make it. They genuinely might make it. They only play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more playoff teams. They verse 5 playoff teams in the remaining 20 games. Holy. 5? And that's if you count the 76ers as a playoff team, by the way. I don't count them as a playoff team without Embiid. Damn, man, that is sheesh. Here's the thing. I say it all the time. If the Knicks trade for Giannis, they're done. They're done. A core of Brunson, Hart, and Giannis is not moving me. They will disband almost their entire team. Okay, guys, let's move on to our final true or false. Yeah, I think we all agree that their season is over. But with a schedule like that, they very well could make the playoffs. Honestly, they're probably going to make the play-in. I know they're 5 games out, but they're only playing 5 more unless Giannis just sit. I mean, I don't know. They're 0-2 with Giannis. I don't know, man. Let's move on. Let us move on. Apparently, I made somebody very upset in the YouTube stream saying, I heard all I need from this guy. I'm out. Because I said that the Charlotte Hornets spam threes. Hornets fans, do the Charlotte Hornets spam threes? I watch Hornets. In my opinion, they spam threes. They've been attempting 50 a game every game this year. If that ain't spamming threes, I don't know what is. Guys, I have a final true or false. I have a final true or false. By the way, Twitch chat, AA Killer, guys, new guys, be sure to join the Discord as well. Alec, be sure to join the Discord. ! Discord. Be sure to join it. And TikTok chat. We're almost done here. So be sure to come through to the Twitch. That's JZ Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. Come through. Guys, this is my final true or false. Lock in. True or false, guys? The Eastern Conference playoffs will be more entertaining than the West. True or false? And if you need a visual, let me hook you up. TikTok chat, unfortunately, you guys can't see the whole thing. So if you guys want to see the full picture, come to the Twitch. I'm going to go ahead and say true. I'm going to go ahead and say true. For my podcast listeners, I'm going to go over everything on the screen right now. If the playoffs started today, out west, the number 1 seed Hornets, the number 1 seed Thunder will sweep either the Clippers or the Blazers. Okay? The number 2 seed Spurs will sweep either the Warriors or the Suns. Okay? Well, the Warriors with Curry back could win a game. The Suns are not, not with all these injuries. We'll see what happens. The next seed, the Timberwolves versus Nuggets. Well, that's a fun series. That's fun. Hell yeah. That should be a good time. The Rockets versus the Lakers. I think Luka could win them a game. Maybe 2. I think. I don't know. KD save us offense is not going to bode well in the playoffs. KD save us. That's not going to go well in the playoffs. And then we already talked about the Spurs. Let's go to the East. The Pistons will either verse I guess it's one of those 4 teams, man. So I don't really know. It could be, I guess it'll be the Magic or the Heat, huh? Or no, it'll be the Hornets or the Hawks. It'll be the Hornets or Hawks. Hornets, that'll be a fun-ass series. The Hawks, that'll be a sweep. Okay. The Celtics would play either the Magic or the Heat. Well, Magic always give the Celtics problems. The Heat suck, but the Magic always give them problems. So, yeah, that'll be entertaining. The Cavaliers versus Raptors. In my honest opinion, guys, this is going to be a very, very fun series. I know. Listen, I don't think the Cavs are going to stay there. I think they're going to climb because their schedule is easy. It's literally a cakewalk for the rest of the season. Like the Cavs have the second easiest schedule for the rest of the season. They have the second easiest schedule for the rest of the season. I love how Master Planner always comes into the Twitch stream the moment I say the Heat suck. Listen, you got to accept that. As a fan of your team, you have to accept that your team sucks. And if you don't want to say they suck, they're mid. They're mid. They're mid. They are mid. Can they win basketball games? Yes, but they are mid. Like, you have to understand, this is not to insult. We don't suck that bad. I didn't say you suck that bad. I just said you suck. I didn't say you suck that bad. I just said you suck. That's fine. You're probably not going to get swept. He said sweeped. Man, okay, so Miami Heat fans also don't know. Okay, anyways. The Celtics would smack either the Magic or the Heat, 5-6 games, whatever you choose. Okay, the Cavaliers, Raptors, I think that'll be a very fun series. I think the Raptors defense is going to look very, very fun. Unfortunately, the Raptors offense is ass. So I think the series will be fun. And then you have the Knicks 76ers. Again, I don't think these are going to stay the way they are. But if that's the case, I think this is the worst way the seedings could fall. Anybody else agree? In the East, I think this is the worst that the seedings could fall. And it's not going to look like this. It's not going to look like this. I think the Hornets are going to play the second seed. I think the Pistons are going to verse, realistically, the Magic or Heat. Realistically, that's, and I genuinely believe the Knicks, who would 3 play? The Knicks could play the Hornets. The Knicks could play the Hornets. And the Knicks could also play the Cavs. Who knows? No, the Cavs they're not going to fall. So I don't know. I think overall, and then when you move on to the future seedings beyond the first round, ladies and gents, I'd like to give a shout out to NR. Thank you, NR, for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you. Welcome back in. Very happy to have you, bro. Be sure, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, you would enjoy the Twitch stream so much more. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. Look at the second round, though. Look at the second rounds if these brackets were to break this way. You know what I'm saying? The Pistons would verse the Cavs in the second round. Please, God, don't do that to me. The Pistons would verse the Cavs in the second round. The Pistons Magic would be the worst shooting playoff series ever. It would. It would. But in the second round, the Pistons would verse the Cavs, okay? And in the second round, the Knicks would verse the Celtics. That sounds like an unbelievable semifinals. And then in the finals, bro, in the finals, you'll either have Donovan Mitchell and James Harden versus Brunson and Cat, or it'll be or Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I mean, that's crazy. That'll be fun. And then you got the conference finals as well. That's crazy. The conference finals could either be Cade and Duren versus Donovan Mitchell and James Harden in the conference finals. It could be Jaylen Brown and Cat versus Cade and Duren. It could be all the combinations just sound so much fun. All the combinations just sound so much fun. Somebody in the TikTok chat is saying Wizards in 4. Okay, that's Wizards in 4, eh? Now, okay. And then the West, the second round would be against the Timberwolves or Nuggets. We would hope it'd be the Nuggets, just for pure competitive sake. We would hope it'd be the Nuggets. Then the next round would be the Rockets versus the Spurs. And then in the conference final, yeah, man. In my opinion, it's, I don't know. The Timberwolves would probably get swept by the Thunder. I'm saying that as a person who has no dog in that fight. The Timberwolves would probably get swept by the Thunder. They just don't have. And the East just has better stories. Now, who do I think is going to win? Yeah, obviously we all know that. But genuinely, the East, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight. You know what I mean? The West, we're sort of just expecting the Thunder to go through. And if it ain't, People are telling me Ant-Man's the truth. I'm not denying how good Ant is, but against the Thunder, man, I'm sorry, you're not going to do anything. You saw what happened. You saw what happened. I'm being told the Wolves are 2-1 versus the Thunder this season. Oh my God. I love when people say that. Let's look that up. I love when people say that because one, it's the regular season. Okay. And two, there's probably 100 asterisks in between this. Okay. So Minnesota won by 12 in that game. Okay. So right here, this is the Thunder beating the Timberwolves. Let's see who the Thunder have. They had their whole team except for J-Dub, Aaron Wiggins, Ousmane Dieng, who they traded at that point. Okay. The games that Minnesota has won, let's look at them. They had Shea, they had Chet. It looks like everyone had a bad game except for Shea. They're missing Aaron Wiggins, J-Dub, and that's it again. And then, I remember watching that game actually. And then the third game, they were missing Alex Caruso, J-Dub, and AJ Mitchell. So that's telling. That is telling. Again, it's regular season. A 7-game series, I think we all know. And then I'm being told the Spurs are better than the Thunder too. Guys, when are we going to learn that the regular season is the regular season and the playoffs are the playoffs? This is why I'm not reading the TikTok. On that note, guys, I think it's true. I think the Eastern Conference is just going to be way more fun than I think the Eastern Conference is going to be way more fun than the Western Conference, genuinely. I really think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun. And yeah, I think it's going to be a very enjoyable experience as far as the Eastern Conference goes. And I'm sorry again, Heat fans, for saying you suck. Honestly, I'm not sorry. Master Planner, get out of your feelings, please. Please get out of your feelings. It's like, if I say a team sucks, it's not to insult you. I'm insulting them. They're not giving you the product that you deserve. Okay? Okay, I don't know what Buddy's talking about. It looks like he's getting racist in the chat, so we're just going to get him out. Anyways, let's continue with, oh wow, he got actually very offended by me saying did he say Indians ass pod? Hold on. He's saying, hold on. Okay, we gotta acknowledge this real quick. Hold on, I'm removing the ban on you. First of all, I'm not Indian, and what are you insulting me for? You're insulting me because I said the Miami Heat suck? That's why you're insulting me? Because I said the Miami Heat suck, right? That's why? That's why. I'm just saying shit. Yeah, you're just saying shit. You're just saying shit. You are. No. That is just unnecessary. That's insulting. Master Planner, that is very, very pathetic of you, my friend. Good luck with everything in life. For your sake, the Heat won't. I didn't think that you take your team so serious. If somebody said the Pistons suck, I'd say, yeah, I agree. I said the Miami Heat suck as a joke, and yet you freaked out. Enjoy your life being a virgin, and I wish you luck in your endeavors. Okay? I know that dude's autistic, but like that's no reason to get racist in my chat. There's no reason to get racist in here. Speaking of, my fiance is half Indian, half Greek, so I will not be allowing any sort of racism in here. By the way, that's also, I don't know what his name is in the Discord. We'll probably know if we'll see. Yeah, the Heat suck. Master Planner also sucks. Get his address. Okay, let's finish today's episode with our stud of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, who's the stud of the night? We had a lot of mid lineups last night. And a lot of stat lines just didn't look good. They just didn't look good, man. They didn't look good. A lot of stat lines didn't look good. Chad had 28 games smooth. Derek White had 29. Con Knips had 20. You had Jabari Walker dropping 22. Tyrese dropping 25 inefficiently. Keontae George dropped 30. You had a lot of good games last night, y'all. But I got to be honest. There's only one man last night that gets the stud of the night. And I don't think he's going to get it for the rest of the year. And that man is Drew freaking Holiday of the Portland Trailblazers, y'all. Drew Holiday. Most of you guys probably didn't even know this. I was watching it and I couldn't believe what the commentators were saying. Drew Holiday, in a win, dropped 35 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds. He was a plus 10 in the game. He shot 13 for 19 from the field. And he shot 8 for 11 from downtown. Drew freaking Holiday gets our stud of the night from last night's games. Shout out to Drew Holiday. Absolutely incredible. We love Drew Holiday around here. 2-time NBA champion. I think 2-time NBA All-Star. Am I lying? I think. Drew Holiday, beast. And you know what? As far as Grizzlies fans go, Leak, I love you, baby. Your young future, it's exciting. Gigi Jackson had a good game. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Wells had a good game. There's things to be excited about. Ja Morant didn't touch the court again. That's great. That's great. 2-time All-Star, man. Love Drew Holiday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to do it for today's show. We had an eventful one, y'all. And mind you, there's no more shows for the rest of the week. I apologize. My new folk, I'm sorry. My new folk that just found the stream today thinking, oh man, I can't wait for tomorrow's episode. I'm so happy this guy streams Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Unfortunately, we're not here tomorrow. I'm driving up to Detroit to visit my family. I'm gonna go see a Pistons game. I'm gonna go see my homies that are in Detroit. I'm gonna go spend time with my family. But lucky for you, there will be shows next week. Okay? I will be streaming them off of my laptop. I will be posting them on Spotify. I will be posting them on YouTube. I will be posting them on, obviously we'll be streaming them on Twitch. And we'll be active as hell in our Discord server. Okay? I haven't seen my family since last August. I miss them. And we're going to drive up because my fiance's on her spring break. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll probably be back Monday morning at 8:30. Or sorry, we're not going to be live at 8:30 a.m. There's not going to be any just chatting segments, just quick podcasts, and we're gone. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is going to do it for today's episode. Okay? Be sure to join the Discord. Twitch chat, don't go anywhere. Twitch chat, do not go anywhere. We're always still live on Twitch after we end our streams. Okay? Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. YouTube chat, TikTok chat, Spotify live, or Spotify listeners, Apple listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review and come through to the Twitch stream where we are still live. That's JZ Uncut on Twitch, the purple app, link in my bio. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for watching / listening. That was an episode, guys. Have a good one. I'll see y'all Monday morning. Don't miss me too much. And don't find any other new podcasts. Nobody does it better, all right? Bye.